So I think also though for people who have like never been to not only just Grand Bayou Indian Village but maybe even Louisiana, like what makes Grand Bayou Indian Village what like if someone were to come here, right, for the first time, what would you tell them to get them ready for what they're about to experience? Who wants?
Well, I'll say the culture of the food, the friendship, ride up and down the bayou, show you what the bayou used to be like. Try to show you, explain to you what it used to be like. But now with all this open water and land eating every day, we're losing it daily by daily, and that's what make it hard for me, because living there all my life and seeing this the land, the opportunity that we had in those days, and it's all washing away. It's the same thing with the shrimp, the food that we used to eat. It's all gone, and the land. Mostly, that's what's hurting the land.
But then you could tell them that we are only accessible by boat. You can only come so far. We're like about a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter from the main road. And to get to the village, we're only by boat only. It's a fishing village where that's been passed down from our ancestors. But that's what makes us unique, again, about Grand Bayou.
Okay.
Growing up on the bayou, for me, it was you got to spend time with your grandparents. And during the week, during school time, you went to school, you had to paddle or the boat. You had to paddle, or your siblings would paddle you to school in the boat that your dad fashioned and made on his own. And we had teachers that came from New Orleans, and they had like, the school building had like a little apartment, and they stayed there during the week and then they left. But living on the bayou, everybody, helped each other. If you kill a pig, everybody had pig. If your boat was sinking, somebody would come and help you. On Sunday, everybody on the bayou went to church, and then you went home. In the winter, like winter time, it took off like 6 months you went to school, and then the rest of the month they would travel and all. So they did that, but there was always a lot of love on the bayou. We had lots of land until the marsh just, through the years, the storm came and just took it all. And lots of time we had water in the yard, not too many times in the house, but sometimes it would get destroyed. But our parents and the people in the neighborhood would help each other rebuild. And, you seen the love from everybody, doing things like that. We played games in the yard. You played, you got up in the morning, you had your breakfast, and then you went into the yard, played until it was time for lunch. And then after lunch, you played in the yard until it was time to come in before dark. That's what the kids did around here. During storm season, what we would do, we would go, all the boats would everybody would pack up, go in the boats, and they were all like, okay, where are you going, where are we going? Everybody would just go to a certain canal where they had a lot of trees would stop, from the winds, from, destroying everything. So we would all go in the canal, everybody tied up their boats together, and then the kids could go from boat to boat, and the women, what they did, they cooked, and everybody ate outside on the boat, on the deck of the boat. And then, you prayed that night that, God would spare our lives and then would spare our homes. And that was a good thing. And we would come home sometime, the houses would be so that you stayed in your boat several months because you had you couldn't go in the house because it was destroyed, more or less. And then we would all go clean the houses, and, the older ones, because we were little. They would clean the houses, and then, they would start all over with their families. And that was a way of living. But now, if somebody was to come out here, they would see, we would take them in the boat, they would see the marshland. A bunch of, like houses on, stilts, and there's just marsh all over. And we would tell everybody, this used to be a lot of land where we could run from house to house, yard to yard, and now you can't because it's all a bunch of marsh. But then, they still have a lot of good things here because, the people are still the same. They still, anybody would come to the bayou what we would do, feed them. That's one thing about the Bayou people. They feed everybody that comes here.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yes, you do.
yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, not only feed you, but I mean, they make you feel like, try to make you feel like you're at home.
Oh.
Yes, but when growing up in the Bayou, they had farms. Like we had like gardens, where my grandmother even had a cow, and we would just eat most of the time from the land, and like the wild game, we would eat the wild game. We only time they would go to the store, it would have to be to get things that you can't get from the land, but we ate seafood from here. They killed a wild game, and that's what everybody ate most of the time. Once in a while, like you didn't get corn from the store. My mom grew corn. We had corn growing in the yard, but now you can't even plant that because there's no more yard. But it was awesome. It was just a different way of living, and we love it. It's quiet, very quiet, and I just love it.
We could have grown up anywhere in the world. He could have put us anywhere. He could have put us in England, but he brought us here for a reason, because we family. And we united as one out here. And, you know, when one hurt, we all hurt.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
That's the way we grew up. You can go out here, none of the houses, none of the doors are locked at night, you know. Because when you knock at my door, you ain't got to knock, come on in, because I know who it is. It ain't a stranger, you know. And if it's a stranger, he's welcome too, you know. And that's part of growing up on the Bayou. It's a special place and special people. And that's what I like about it.
Absolutely.
So, what things are, and I put this in quotes, the same as other communities? Like,
How we are the same from another community is family. You know, family is a priority. We also, religion, you know, is a priority. And helping others, you know, giving our, you know, helping in time of need, whether it's family, even if it's not family. You know, if you need help, you know, we usually there to help. And there's other communities like that. I mean, there's people that you brought down from Ohio that didn't know us, that came to our community to plant grass in our waters, you know, which was great. I mean, sometimes I don't even want to get in the water. And so that's the same. We're human. You know, we all bleed the same. You know, we have a different way of life, you know, but that makes us the same. We have a heart, we care, we have modern education. We are educated. And even our ancestors, you know, they probably couldn't, you know, maybe write a paragraph, but they could build a boat, you know. I mean, how many people in the city can go and just go build their boat or their house?
We're the same and then we're different.
yeah.
Our way of life is different, but we love our families. We go to church. We serve God. We protect our families. Our kids get real good education, and that's the same as maybe your neighbor, or if we lived in the city. And the way of life is totally different. You know, we're shrimpers, we're crabbers, we're fishermen, oyster people. This is a Indian community, and we come together and we talk about, you know, how we can benefit our communities, and it's just getting together and just, you know, helping each other out.